All right, Coach. Well, another weekend where you've got a close one, and I know you said last time out that trying to win those games late, and one of those did come up again. And how do you feel your team responded in that situation?
Well, the um, two games were a little bit different. The first one got behind a little bit early, and then we were able to battle back and make it a kind of a game down the stretch. And then on Friday night and then Saturday was the opposite, where we got ahead early, and then Concordia was able to come back and make it basically a one possession game down the stretch again. So, especially that game had opportunities. Had a shot right at the end that we missed. That would have been a big shot in that game. So kind of talked about it last week, as you mentioned, just trying to find a way to finish those games off, and unfortunately come away feeling like we had the same opportunity to win a basketball game, and unfortunately the same result where we didn't get it done. So just trying to make sure, as you're talking to the guys, you're keeping it, you're highlighting and making sure you're highlighting a lot of the good things that we're doing, because they're certainly disappointed and feel like they lost a game that maybe we let get away or that we could have won again. And that's the tough thing is, those start to take a toll on guys. As you keep playing and you have a close game, and you drop it and you feel like you're playing your butt off and playing super hard and doing a lot of good things, to not be rewarded with the victory, that's a tough situation. To have that a couple times in a row, or 4 out of 5 games, or whatever it's been. But I'll give our guys a lot of credit on the ability to bounce back and kind of, it's okay to be really disappointed, and it's okay to be upset with a loss as long as you handle that the right way. And focusing on what you can do better, focusing on what you did well, and repeating those things. That's both the things that have been so encouraging is so many games that are just fun basketball games, back and forth the whole time, or getting in the last 2 minutes and one team's up by 2 or 3. It seems like that's been every one of our games. The frustrating thing is not finishing those off, and then just finding that way to make 1 or 2 more plays. We got to make sure we do that, and that's certainly, as I've said over and over again, that's the coach's job, is to figure those out. And right now, I've got to make sure I do a better job of that.
When it comes to the team's confidence in a game, I mean, how do they avoid just thinking boy, here we go again? The season's going how it is. Yeah.
You got to put in the work to feel confident, and if that's on the practice floor, running through set plays offensively to make sure you're really comfortable with what we're going to run in that situation, then we've got to do that. If that's making shots on the gun in the gym by yourself, then that's making shots in the gun. If that's watching extra film with the team or on your own time, then that's every player's job, is to own their own confidence. And we can do what we think as a coaching staff on the practice court for an hour and a half or 2 hours. But at the end of the day, each guy's got to own their own confidence and do what they need. If that happens in practice, that's great. If it doesn't happen in practice, then they've got to put in the extra time to walk out of the gym feeling good about it. And if that's, as I said, that could be film, that could be extra shots, that could be just, watching things that they've done well in the past. Whatever it is, we were joking in here earlier about sports psychology, but that's a big part of the game. And at the end of the day, it's not. For me, my confidence isn't based on what anybody else does. It's based on what I do, and I've got to do my job to make sure that I walk into a game knowing what we need to do to attack and having a good game plan. And it's the same with the players. They've got to walk into that game knowing throughout the week they've done every little thing that they can to feel good about themselves. So when you get in a situation and you get in those elite moments in a game, you're ready to make an elite play. And that's it. In basketball and in life, it doesn't matter what other people do. It matters what you do. And that's a good learning thing for our guys right now, as we've been trying to stress that is, you control your preparation, you control what you do day to day, and not just in basketball but in life. Doing extra doesn't always pay off, but it can't hurt you. It can never hurt you. And people appreciate people who do extra, and we're asking our guys to keep doing a little bit extra right now to put themselves in a good spot mentally and in a good spot physically, so we can finish out the season playing the same type of basketball, but winning those close games for the last 14 games of conference here.
How about the second half of the season now, starting off with 2 teams you've seen already? You coming up this weekend?
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're already kind of turning that page where we're playing people for the second time, but it'll be really good to be at home. We've got a 4-game homestand here, and that allows us to practice a little bit better throughout the week, I think, and rest up and make some strides. And as we've talked with our guys, man, when we go into games, if we have 4 or 5 main keys for that game, we're doing enough of those keys every time to have it be a great basketball game and to have it be a close game down the stretch. And we might be doing 2 of the 4 really, really well, but those other 2 of the 4 are slipping enough that it's costing us basketball games, and we're not ahead by 10, and we got to make plays down the stretch to win it. And that's been the learning curve for all of our guys, older guys and young guys, is close enough isn't getting it done, right? Or pretty good's not getting it done. We got to find a way to be at our best, especially, as I said before, in those elite moments. And I think we've got a chance this week and next week as well to be here to put in extra work. We're not in class yet, so we've got a lot of guys up in the office early watching things and just trying to find those little nuggets, because at the end of the day, you're battling, but you got to find a way to win games. And also at the end of the day, right now, it's not a major change here or there. It's a way, hey, how can we find 2 more points in this game? And all of a sudden, you've got you're winning more basketball games, because every single one of them seems like it's been a 1-possession game down the stretch. So just continuing to fight for those couple points here or there. And our guys are doing that, like I said. So I love the way that they're taking care of the process. And they're doing everything they can. I'd love to see some results for them where they can feel good, not just about how the way they played, but feel good about the results as well.
You mentioned having 4 keys to the game. Is that something that you preach, the same 4 keys every game, or is it kind of different depending on?
No, we're some of those are the same, but from game to game, we're game planning about usually 4, maybe 5 things that we say, hey, if we do the majority of these, we're going to win that basketball game. And depending on how that team defends, it might be a little bit different. And things like taking care of the basketball are pretty standard, and limiting our turnovers. And take that, for instance, I think we had 6 and 8 maybe this weekend, so 14 turnovers total, which is great total. We really did a nice job of that. That allowed us to get a lot of shots offensively, and that was one of the positives. But then we might have something defensively, game plan based usually in each game, depending on how usually there's 2-0 and two defensive ones, and we had a couple defensively that we didn't do very well, and those sometimes can cost us. And trying to find a way to play more of a complete game and execute those things better, certainly a key this weekend and every game moving forward.
Cool.